Yes. Okay. So looking at pranayama, some of the basic 3-part yogic breaths are beautiful. So breathing in a wave-like fashion, it's actually, it very much stimulates that parasympathetic nervous system, which allows you to relax and go to sleep. So if someone was to look up the yogic breath, there's 3 parts. There's clavicle breathing, thoracic breathing, back body breathing. And on those 3 parts, you can practice individually, you can combine them. And then, you know, if someone's suffering from insomnia, the Ujjayi breath is beautiful. So this is like the sound of air moving through a tunnel. It's like constriction in the back of the throat, kind of in the back of the nasal kind of cavity. And it's very steadying. So again, it helps to steady the breath, but it also steadies those mental and emotional fluctuations. And that's why it's, you know, such a beautiful technique. The Nadi Shodhan is the alternate nostril breathing. So not to get too kind of complicated or too in depth here, but there's the system of the nadis, the channels of energy through the body, of which is the Shashuna, your central energy channel, connecting all the chakras. And then there's the Ida and the Pingala, which is the left and right side of the brain. And yoga is so very detailed on all of these things. It's fantastic. So you want to balance the left and right side of the brain, and you want, for sleep in particular, and this is drawing into Ayurveda, you want to have this rotation happening every 4 hours, which stimulates the digestive tract and then stimulates sleep. So you're moving through these times of day, which relate to your 3 main doshas, which is your Vata, Kapha, and your Pitta, these times of day. So Nadi Shodhan, doing the alternate nostril breathing, helps to kind of reset that natural switch that should happen every 4 hours, which can really help with insomnia. I also would recommend the Yoga Nidra, because Yoga Nidra is actually yogic sleep, is what that is translated to. And that's this is a very particular sequential relaxation technique, which has been around for thousands of years. The Bihar school kind of honed it a little bit more, but which is yogic sleep. So it moves you through this rotation of consciousness. It moves you through breath. It moves you through visualization. There are yoga nidra techniques that can be 20 minutes, and there's some that can be over an hour long. So there's a wide range of these kind of standard ancient practices, some which involve all the aspects and are longer, and some which are shorter, but those very much aid in sleep. So I would recommend those.
Okay, thank you. Before we move to the closing note, I think we have a meditation exercise planned. So could you take us through that?
Absolutely. So this is what's so important, because we can talk about all of this forever, right? But if we are true to the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, it says, and the entire path of yoga and Tantra, it says that the practice is paramount. So that's why we're going to practice right now, because we can talk about it and know intellectually and logically this is something, oh yes, I should do this. I know I should do the yoga, but actually doing it is most important. So I would love for everyone that's on this call to really choose if you would like to lay down, if you would like to sit up, and maybe lean against a wall behind you, lean against a chair, lean against the back of your bed. So you can really decide. And I just want to enable you to find whatever position is most comfortable for you. Maybe that's laying down on your back. So I'm just kind of offering this as an option. You can lay down and spread out here and let the palms face towards the sky. So in our Shavasana at the end of a yoga practice, we always have the palms facing up, the toes turning out, and we want to relax the hands and the feet, because that is where most of the nerve endings in the body are present. So if we allow those areas to relax and to have no stimulus, to be touching nothing, that can also help us to move into our internal world. So let's practice some of those basic tenets of mindfulness here. I want you to softly close your eyes if that's comfortable. If for any reason that's not comfortable, find a single point to look at, maybe on the ceiling, on the ground, and start to relax all the muscles in the face, relaxing through the scalp, relaxing through the neck and through the collarbones and through the chest. Then begin to relax down through the arms, down through the torso, along your spine, relaxing the sides of your body, and feeling the weight of the back of your head, the weight of your shoulder blades if you're lying on the ground. If you're seated, the weight of your pelvis, of your sit bones grounding. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the earth, connecting to the earth. Relaxing down through the legs, whether they're outstretched or whether they're crossed, softening through the legs. Relaxing through the ankles and the heels, feeling their weight releasing into the earth as well. And then take 3 more waves through the body as if there's this gentle kind of water washing over you from the crown of your head down to your fingertips and to your toes. And imagine these 3 kind of waves of relaxation just washing through every part of your body. Letting those waves washing over you entail this long and relaxed exhale as you release. Now let's turn our awareness to the breath. And without changing the breath, just notice the quality of your inhale. As you turn your awareness to the breath, it's normal for the breath to begin to lengthen, for the muscles that surround the diaphragm and the cavity where our breath enters to soften and allow the breath to go deeper into its lower portions of our body, of our lungs. I want you to think about softening so much that it allows you to take in a larger volume of air into your body. We'll practice just the beginning of this yogic breathing, which is kind of a base breathing technique prior to pranayama. I want you to breathe first into the base of the belly and imagine that the air is kind of pooling in the base of the abdomen. And then this level is rising up inside of you through the rib cage, into the chest, into the top of the shoulders, into the neck. And you might sip in just a little bit more air at the top of the breath and then hold for just a second. And then begin pouring the breath out in an even longer exhale. The level descending from the neck down through the shoulders, the chest, the abdomen, into the base of the belly, where you might engage those lower abdominals to press out the last bit of breath, maybe pausing at the bottom of the breath, and then breathing again into the base of the belly, feeling this level rising inside of you until you feel full of breath. And then again, exhaling from the top down slowly to the very base of the belly. And let's practice 3 of those pranic breaths here. And you start to count the seconds, the length of your inhale without any judgment. Just acknowledging the length of your inhale in relation to the length of your exhale. And then naturally seeing if you can allow the exhale to be just a little bit longer than the inhale. Noticing that we are filling ourselves with prana, which is this vital energy, this life force that is present in all living things around us and in the oxygen that we breathe into the body. This is our kind of base pranic breathing technique. I want us to take a few more cycles of breath here and then see if it's possible to just pause even for 1 or 2 seconds at the top of your breath at your fullest point, and then to pause for 1 or 2 seconds at the very base of the back of your breath when you are kind of empty, when you've released all the breath from the body. Staying present with the breath, taking 1 to 2 more cycles of breath here. All that you need to think about right now is just your breathing, letting everything else go in this moment, releasing any other thoughts that naturally arise. And then as you're ready, you might return to this normal breathing pattern or breathing cycle in the body, keeping the breath very calm and very relaxed. Noticing how just relaxing the breath naturally shifts sort of the function of the body into this relaxed state in the mind, in the organs, in the digestion in the body, relaxing the muscles of the body in turn, relaxing the mind. Taking just one final moment here after this practice of the beginning of your pranayama technique of kumbhaka, which is the retention of the breath, the antar kumbhaka, the top of the breath, this retention of silence, the bahir kumbhaka at the bottom of the breath. The kumbhaka naturally moves us into the beginning stages of meditation, which is why pranayama is so important in yoga. And yet, in these final moments, I want you to imagine your body just laying over the ground, or imagine yourself in the seated pose, almost as if you are kind of peering, looking down at yourself in this very relaxed state, breathing, laying on the ground or seated. And I want you to just kind of imagine the body lying there as if you are witnessing your own body in this moment. Witnessing yourself in this calm and relaxed state. I'd like to leave you with one question, which stems from ancient yoga philosophy. And this question is, in relation to the Soham mantra, who am I? This question begs you to connect with your true self, releasing anything that is untrue, anything that is not self, anything that entails itself with the ego, with the material, and rather it asks you to connect with your soul, with this cavity, this area behind the heart. A very famous mantra in yoga would be to respond or reply with the, in English, with the phrase, I am that. Repeating this internally. I am that. This is the Satnam mantra. Breathing deep into the belly, starting to breathe into the fingers and into the toes. Finding some gentle movement there as you prepare to keep this relaxation, this calmness with you as you start to move out of your meditation. You can bend the knees towards the sky if you're lying on your back and reach your right arm overhead, rolling onto your right side. If you're seated, you can prepare to kind of palm the eyes, maybe rubbing the hands together, creating some heat with this friction, and then placing the hands over the eyes, letting the muscles of the eyes soften. And then as you slowly draw your hands away, you can start to open your eyes. If you're lying on your right side, you can gently press with that left hand and meet us in a seated meditative pose. Our auspicious pose has one ankle just in front of the other, our hands on our knees, touching our first finger to our thumb in Dhyana Mudra. The palms facing down, this is our mudra for wisdom. If we turn the palms towards the sky in that same mudra, we come into our chin mudra, connecting us with the world around us. We'll lengthen through the crown of the head, drawing the chin towards the heart. We can glide our hands into heart center and simply bow towards the heart. And then gently opening your eyes. Again, if you close them, we're coming out of our meditation together.